Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Alaina. Welcome once again to another episode of On the Couch. We are going to be talking about mental health today. We are going to discuss mostly about stress and how to manage it and some of the solutions that are offered in Islam. Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm with my co-hosts. We are going to be discussing about mental health, focusing mostly on stress. Stress usually is when one is having problems coping with an environment which doesn't provide for their needs. For example, if someone doesn't have food, when someone is hungry but they cannot reach food or they do not have means to get food, then they become stressed. And there are many different types of stresses which also found in societies. For example, when someone is being pressured to do something that they cannot actually do at the present moment, so they also get stressed. And there are also other types of stresses. We can have some defined by Sister Nadia.
To me, stress is pressure. It can come from different sources. For instance, life-changing events. We have all lost someone in our lives. Like we lose someone close to our heart. It can be so stressful. And maybe divorce, or maybe you lose a job. It can cause stress. Like things are hard, and you don't know where your next meal will come from because you no longer have a job. So all those kind of things, they cause stress. They cause pressure on you. They strain you.
Yes. Can you actually tell us of a time when you were stressed, and how did you know that you were stressed? Look here.
Yeah, of course I've been stressed here and there, but sometimes it's more like when you get stressed, it's like you don't even know it sometimes. I think you can be unaware, or sometimes you know it but you don't know what to do. Sometimes it's better to talk with a friend, or sometimes it's just better to pray. But sometimes, especially most of the time, as people, we forget to pray before we talk to someone. It's always like I have to talk to someone, or I have to be where there's a lot of noise, or you just need a place, a quiet place, and you just think. But we forget to do those things. But I'm a human being, I've been stressed here and there. But I think what's best is like the solution when you are stressed. What do you get to do when you're stressed?
Okay, so you focus more on the solution, not on the problem.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because if you think of your problem, what's next? Nothing is going to change. So
but I think the problem leads you to a solution. Like this is what's causing you stress. Mm-hmm. Then you solve that to reach a solution. I think so.
But do you have to mention like every problem you have? Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I know, to yourself, not to others. Like maybe it's from the organization, like your boss is stressing you. Like I know the stress is coming from my boss, so the solution should be tackling that because it's coming from my boss.
So you mean we have to first identify the problem?
Exactly.
You cannot find a solution
without a problem.
The problem.
Yes, because you're stressed, but what's causing the pressure?
I understand.
For me, I'm like Elena here, not a psychologist, a certified one for that matter. But what I can say is, from what I see from the general knowledge that we have, we know people are stressed out there, right? But the first step that we should take is to recognize that you are stressed.
Exactly.
But most of the people, we fail to recognize that we are stressed. I think it also comes with our surroundings. Sometimes that's why we have mental problems. It reaches a level where someone will go crazy. That's the level most people understand, like, this person is crazy, like going nuts and mad, that kind of, but it started with stress. So for us, like where we live, we have to identify like, someone is facing some problems. You just need, I think for me, the basic steps is to talk to someone, right? The more you share your problems, the more they get solved. It's better to talk to someone when you are stressed. But like I said before, you are not able to recognize that you are stressed. So identify those points. Like if you see someone like they're just quiet, I don't know, things are not just working out fine for them. You just need to talk to them. Just say hi, how are you? What's happening? What's up? You know, even just giving someone a smile. it helps in someone's life, you know.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to ask the problem, what's the problem? Because you already know that someone is a problem.
Yeah,
just try to
just be
cheer
there
them
for
up
them.
or something.
How do you identify a problem in a person who is not talking, one, and then they are actually faking, they are smiling all the time, but actually when they go back behind the doors, behind the curtains, they are stressing, they are crying, they are doing all those sort of things. So how do you identify?
I think they are indicators of someone stressed. Like, it's not 100% right, but most of the times there are some certain symptoms that shows you this person is stressed or you're stressed. For instance, it is said that when people gain weight or lose weight, it can be due to stress. Or if you're someone who is sociable, like you have friends and you just start withdrawing yourself, like you don't want to be part of the conversation. And then sometimes even your eating habits, eating too much or eating too little. If you're someone who was used to eating, now you don't feel like eating. And then sometimes even people say that like you just have these mood swings. Maybe it's your mom, like she just starts shouting at you like for no reason. You didn't do, like, you definitely know this is not my mom, like this is not the way she's usually is. So if you see those signs sometimes, like if it's a person who usually talks, now they're just quiet, they just don't want to talk to you, and I think it's a sign that you should push more and ask them what's wrong. If they cannot tell you, then just be there for them. I think so.
So let's say that person is not talking, and maybe you find out there are some people when you approach them who are actually stressed, they don't want to talk about it, and then maybe they are not even praying about it sometimes, you don't know. But they are getting worse by even the approach. They feel like you are pushing too much, and then you create more problems for them. How do we best approach a person when they are stressed and we are trying to, maybe we want to go soft on them, not too hard on them?
I think for myself, what I can say is like I believe in socializing. I know some people, they are reserved, you know, that they don't want to talk to people or something. But if you're in trouble, if you find yourself, if you find something to do, something, maybe a hobby actually, like you don't just have to sit at home and do nothing. You end up only thinking and thinking. The more you think about your problem, the more it causes you problems, right? So the more you spend time, just like, okay, you feel stressed, you don't want to talk about it, or you don't have a solution, just call a friend, or just talk on the phone. Like, find time to talk to someone. It will help a lot, than just to keep it.
When you talk about talking, it's like we are always putting in mind that you have to talk about the problem. It's not about the problem, just talking in general. Because I think this mental stress for us ladies is a bit better for us because we always like talking. But for men, when it comes to men being stressed, I don't think they want to discuss.
It's because of the society. They're told men up, like, why are you stressing? Why are you stressing?
Most of the times, maybe guys, they are usually aggressive when they are like talking. When you try to talk to them, they kind of get aggressive because they don't want to talk about their problems, and usually they are bottling up a lot of things.
And I also think the best way to manage stress is at individual level. Because even we try as much as pushing someone, let's talk, but if they themselves, they're not ready to deal with it, then I don't think there will be much help. But if us as individuals, we identify this is stressing me and find solution, go out there, interact, and because you cannot, if look at stress and I go and say, let's go out, she may just say no because she doesn't want to go and talk. So exactly.
It's true. Okay. We'd like to go in, right? We'll come back soon. So before we go any further, we'll have more other approaches.
Okay. For me, I think as Africans mostly, we are afraid to go and approach someone who is
A stranger.
not a stranger. Someone who is a professional, you know, like a psychologist or someone you can talk to when you are stressed or when you face problems. We have this belief like, oh, why should I waste my money or doing something like that, you know? But it actually helps. We should encourage each other, like to go and find someone who is a professional. They know what to do and they know how to deal with you when you have those problems that you are facing. We don't want to end up having people who are committing suicide because of being stressed. Or someone just getting a heart attack because they were stressed. You know, those kind of things. They lead to all those things. So we should encourage each other to go and seek professional help. Then it will help, you know.
Exactly. And also, like, sometimes you just have to meditate, calm yourself down, and if possible, even sleep. You can just, for some moments, then you can even go away from something that is stressing you, because when you sleep, like, you sometimes try to forget that thing. Then it helps in a way. That's one of the approaches that you can calm yourself when you're stressed.
I'll definitely stick to praying. You just have to pray. That's all I can say. Pray hard.
Okay, so in the Muslim community, how are Muslims dealing with stress?
I would like to say how they should deal with stress, because I wouldn't know how they're dealing with it. But I think as Muslims, we should know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the God, the Creator, would test us in life. He said in Surah Baqarah, verse number 155, that I shall surely test you with the loss of life, loss of property, hunger, and give good news to those who are patient. So if you know that I lost my mom, I lost my brother, it's actually a test from God. Like, God is doing this to me to test my faith, and I think if we know that what is meant to be will be. If it's God's will that this thing will happen and this will not happen, even if you pray in mountains that it will always happen or it won't happen. So if you have that faith, I think it will help you to go that phase in life, that you bear it patiently, like they say, Chema Italio. Yes, you have to accept, you have to cry, but in a way you'll be stressed in a way that is manageable, that won't cause like heart attacks, as she says, or that will cause mental problems like you go mad and etc. Yes, you're stressed, but it's manageable. I think if you have that faith in God, I think so.
I think also I should remember that part where you are told that Allah will not give you a bed and you cannot bear.
Exactly.
So we always forget that sometimes. This is beyond me. So if you feel like it's beyond me, just you know what to do.
Yes, exactly. I had actually forgotten that phrase. That God will never test you something that you cannot be. So even if it's so hard, just know God knows you are capable.
I think as believers, we have to stick to the word of God. I think there is hope in the word of God.
Exactly.
You find peace, love, kindness, whatever you want. You know, so actually as Muslims, we are encouraged every time, every day actually, read the Quran, understand what it's saying. You will find comfort in it. So those times that you feel stressed, those times that you feel alone, you just know God is always with you, no matter what. He's the one who gives, he's the one who takes.
Exactly.
So there is no way that you are facing a problem that you think you will not handle. He knows why he gave you that problem. He knows why you are stressed. But what you need to do is to accept that, okay, I'm in this kind of situation. What do I have to do? I have to pray more. What do I have to do? I have to understand what God is saying to me. Right? Why is this happening to me? If it doesn't happen to you, who else do you want it to happen to? Yeah, no one. So, you know that,
like for me, sometimes I have times that I get down. The moment I just do my salat, like 2 rakat, and then I just feel like, oh, it's no better. So sometimes you just ignore those small things.
Like Allah said in the Quran, seek help, seek assistance through prayer and patience. So it's there, the Quran has said. So if you read, you understand that, you find comfort in your heart.
Actually, the Quran is actually a therapy of it.
Exactly.
What you are saying right now, I'm actually thinking of a lot of verses that actually tell, like there is a verse in, is it Al-Fatiha? That says we seek help only to Allah, we seek for help.
Exactly.
We seek for guidance. So when you're faced with maybe you're on a crossroads, you don't know what to do, you seek help from Allah, you seek guidance from Allah. And there are also verses where, is it that says, haven't I found you an orphan and I took care of you?
Another thing that Islam advocates is that you should be grateful. When you're content in your heart, like you don't stress more, like for instance, your stress that I don't have this type of life, like Adila has a car, I'm not driving it. Those are some of the things that stresses are like. Stress sometimes comes because of our natural instinct, like you just feel this, she got married, like haven't gotten married and something like that. But if you're content with what you have, it gives contentment in your heart, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will increase more on that, and then He will find ways. So I think if you believe in the qadr of Allah, that every good and bad comes from Him, then we are grateful with what He has given us, then I think we will be stressed in a manageable way. Stress is inevitable, but it should be manageable in a way that it doesn't cause us diseases, it doesn't cause us to die even, because it can cause to death.
I think we have solution to all these problems that we are having, but we just don't have time to explore. We don't have time to understand what we have. We were given the Quran actually is the medicine of everything. I don't know how to say it. I wish I could just.
You can open and see distress, and then you
Yes, because like the surah like we have many lessons, like she said at Duha, like there's time that even the Prophet was stressed. Like people are laughing at him, like, you know, you're not even the Prophet of God, you're not even, but for a long time, and it's thing that stresses. But God was there to comfort him. He had to find solace in God. And she said that among all the things, prayer is the best solution. Talk to God.
Imagine all those great people that we know of, for example, the Prophet ﷺ, faced those difficulties. What about you? Just
exactly. We're mere human beings. So we will always, the moment we realize that, we will always face problems. So we just have to have faith in God. We have to pray more. Just stick sometimes and say, God, I need strength in dealing with those things. It's just from you, but I just need some strength. Because the people, like sometimes maybe you don't have money and you want to run to Allah and give him, she might even not give you. So sometimes you just left with God. He's the only solution, I think.
I think even if we get to care for our neighbors, like you have to think of them, what are they facing? So if you can help them, you help them to release their stress. So it's better to just check your neighbor and see how much you can help.
Just be like open about everything. Don't think about yourself or think about other people. The more you think about other people, they are the saying. People say like the sun is not there for itself. You for you, if you
for us.
like everything that is out there. Sometimes it's not for other things, but for you or for other people. So we just have to take care of others, maybe before we even take care of ourselves. I think we will
Yes,
like
Islam advocates for love. Like you remember when the Ansar, the Muhajirin actually visited us, they had nothing, but they had to help each other, divide their homes, divide their lives. So I think if you're there for each other, some of these causes of stress can be minimized. Just check on your sister. Morning, say hi to someone if they just quiet, not to say hi. I won't say hi because they didn't say hi. Maybe someone is stressed or they don't even have the bundle, they don't even have the money to buy meal or something. Just check on them, and if you have extra, just send them to them, because that's Islam. Islam is all about love and being there for each other.
Sharing. So problems are inevitable. Stress is inevitable. What we just need to know is we just need to know how to handle them, and to believe in God, to always know that God is always like steering your life. And you don't have to stress a lot, to stress too much, or to think too much about something, to overthink. So yeah, I think we've exhausted the stress and management. And if we haven't, we are very welcome for your comments telling us what more we can do to manage stress. You can help us, we can help you, and you can help people in your community. So before we go, let's have final words from the panel, and then we'll be on.
I think it's just, like I've been saying all along, I think prayer is the best solution to every single problem. It can be stress, it can be something else. Just believing in praying. I think that's the best solution for every problem.
For me, I think sharing is caring. So whatever problems you have, tell others, find comfort in others, and all will be well.
Inshallah.
To me, at the end, God will give you more than you ask for, and at the end, God will make it right. So if it's not yet good, it's not the end. Keep on praying, keep on pushing. God is always there for us. Allah is Ar-Rahman, the merciful. He is Al-Ghafur, the forgiver. He is the nourisher, the cherisher. Let's find comfort in God. Let's make our salah and pray very hard. Inshallah, He'll make things easier for us.
Thank you. Mashallah, God loves you. So if you are stressed, you know that you always know that God loves you. Thank you so much for watching this episode of On the Couch. See you next time.